of my own good friend, who happened to be director of permanent secretary, Alaji Ibujuf. He was in fact the chairman of that committee. But my own friend, my own classmate, and we graduated together to come to college. These were the guys who, came up with that idea. That was this super Navetan. Navetan was being played all along. And you know the origins of Navetan? From the Tom Kings in Bakau, 65. That's a very, very long time. But we in the football side could not make the best use of it. So I thought, let's use that now and propel our football. And it paid dividend.
What were the problems? I think those were, for me, dark days of football. Exactly. Gambia never won anything significant. There were times that Gambia could not even participate in certain tournaments that were going on. Now we have come very close. We won the Under-17 in 2004 at home. We won it on away in Algeria in 2009. We went to Peru and
we made a mark.
And we did make our mark prior to what happened in the First Republic. What were the problems? Why didn't they gel?
Okay, fine. I told you. I said every government has good intentions for its people, but the handlers of those intentions always make or break loose.
Of course, you would not want to name names, huh?
No, I wouldn't mind. It's probably do, but I mean, I wouldn't want to name names. This is public transparency. I mean, I'm happy you mentioned that.
If you spoil the soup, I say you spoil the soup.
Exactly, I like that. But that's what they have been doing. So that's why I said, come social commentator. I took that from somebody. It is not a Nigerian guy, but there was one, something, they call him Mishuoka. This is Zambian names, very funny. Simuchoba, is that type. He would write in all the journals in Zambia, tell me, see, the best way to make a mark is write in the papers, talk about your feelings. One day, society will recognize you. So I resorted to that. Many times, before I criticize anybody, I go to you, I sit you down and tell you, you're doing this is not correct. Ask the First Republic parliamentarians, and they will tell you. Second Republic, I began to be aged. At my age now, I don't go into that level. But when I started originally with Indigenous Second Republic, you realize, in fact, one of the first articles that supported this revolution came from me. Food for thought. It's in the Observer, anchored there. I said, leave us with our rectification programs. Allow us. Linda Choka, the one minister was there. I said, look, shut up. The article was rated very, very, very strong. And, at the Observer, they were not even going to take it. I went there myself. I met Kenneth Best. Are you going to take it or not take it? He said, young man, it's your opinion, I'll take it. And it was put as opinion column. That's how they started this opinion column thing. Not to talk about many others that I do. You see, the truth, I always say, it's not consistent with time, place, and personalities. Today, the truth is true for Malik Jones because he's sitting there doing a good program. Tomorrow, he may be found wanting. Tell him privately, Malik, what about this? You are better than him. Time-wise, who knows? Today, he's punctual. Tomorrow, he will not be. Tell him privately. If he wants to go otherwise, that's the time now. That's when I speak. When people go otherwise, they buy talks.
Okay. Now, we're still on this football thing.
Okay.
The Gambia tried. It's like we're going back and forth in this thing. The senior team, pathetic. They've never won anything. I'm disappointed. I'm part of it because when I go out and I commentate and they lose, it's like me and my fellow commentator, we're fighting a war. He wins, I lose. Gambia will lose, I lose as well. I think that sometimes I feel it more than they do because we as commentators, we always look at each other. I'm winning, you're losing. It's a kind of, that kind of thing.
I'm happy you're mentioning that, Malik. In fact, I felt pity for you.
Yeah,
when you're in South Africa commentating. It was World Cup, where was Gambia. When we could have been there, had we put our act together. Peter Gomez. That's why, in fact, all the journalists wanted to talk to us. I'm not talking to you people. I talked to the senior ones, very seasoned. Malik Jones, Peter Gomez, I'm waiting. Thank God, Peter Jones, we had one small program. Peter, in 1992, 91, June 2, Gambia was then picking up. We went. In fact, it was so sad. We didn't even have a set of jerseys. Money was available, 150,000 from GNOC, but somebody wanted to handle the money. No, it's not came out of a small boy. He should not handle that. Before we realized it, somebody will tell you, I went into a whole glass at the hotel. I nearly died because we left here very late. But that's just by the side. Peter, at the semi-finals, his commentary, that guy, that's why I always cherish him. Even though we have our quarrels, I go to this program, I say, Peter, don't talk about no speculation or no this. Please talk about speculation. Speculate and you'll get to the truth one day. But the two of you, if we had put our act together and listened to you, the whole media fraternity would have rallied behind you. Then our sports would have gone to that level. Again, our administrators, in fact, I laugh at them because these are people who think they sit there, armchair bureaucrats. They will not learn. They feel that the same thing is rudimentary. They just go by the same rudimentary thing. Develop yourself. You don't sit in an office for good 10 years and you want to tell me that you're going to get things gelling. Then there is a fundamental flaw somewhere. That's my problem with people. When I say, they say, oh, he's too cantankerous. Yes, I like that.
Do you think we have ever got the goods, I mean, I'm talking about the national team as an object. Do you think we have ever had a national team, senior national team, that could have won anything?
Yeah. You see, in the early 80s, 70s, coming to the 80s, we had the likes of the Laos, the formidable guys. These guys were there. But at the time, you know, football was not taken that seriously. People were just doing it for pastime and enjoying themselves. But the commitment was there. You see, those guys, tell them today, they marvel at what these 1 million boys are getting now. On the 17, 1 million. I'm sure if you ask Laos today, when he was at that level, you know, brother Laos.
I know Laos, well done. Yeah. I commentated on one, Laos.
Young guy, but today, what is he getting? I mean, in spite of all his efforts, I'm not talking about the rest of them, they know, the Pochisak, name them, all these good players, the Dallases and all whatnot. Football was then football. But people were doing it for just pleasure. At the end of the day, monetary aspect was just at the back burner. But today, the monetary aspect has come, boom. Before you knew it, it's also hampering us. And that's what we now should be able to control. Yes, we could have made some headway. And yes, again, in the second report, we had already made headway. You see that peace tournament organized by His Excellency? I stood there. I was the critic who was not involved, because they would never involve me in these activities because I criticized them. But I stood there to tell. I think the minister was my own good friend, Samafal. I commended him. In fact, I was on one radio. Moses, I'm happy now I can remember. With Moses, I said, Moses, this tournament is the best that can awaken our football. But unfortunately, they are going to misuse it. And that's what they did. We said, under 17, everybody stopped. When the South African commentator, like you said, made the remark, these people are not under 17, I should go back to the school system. That's what we did in Zambia. The Alex Achuelas in those days, 1984, was a high school product. We got him in the team. The present president of the football